seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
We were speaking a lot about the intensive lightsaber training. You with Bob Anderson back in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, the intensive stunt work you did. Now you shaped up even more since then. You look better than ever. Is there still lightsaber training for you? Are you training again?
Possibly. Thank you for mentioning the fact that I dropped a load. It's basically the if it tastes good, don't eat it diet.
That's right.
There's
I know.
No sugar, no dairy, no fun. But you know what happens? You get to a certain point where you stop associating pleasure with food. You look at it more as like fuel rather than, really savoring the idea of eating. It's like, I can't watch the Food Network anymore. It's too tempting, with high definition cameras shooting all these cream sauces and so forth. But you start feeling healthier. It's just the right thing to do. And and I have a lot of incentive because I thought, gee, if I'm going to be that big on the screen. Well, the irony, of course, is I dropped, I don't know how many pounds, but over 45. And of course, I get into wardrobe, and it's this big robe. I said I could be as big as Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now. No one would know.
But the Jedi cannot be obese.
That's true. But again, you wouldn't know if you under that costume. Although probably I'd look more like Uncle Fester than Luke Skywalker.
But you look so badass in this new black costume. Yeah. It's going. It explodes on Twitter. Everybody likes your new look. Yeah. So, but it's kind of dark. But it also reminds me on Return of the Jedi. So maybe. Well,
see, he was in black in Return of the Jedi because people say, it's confirmed he's evil because he's in black. But as you point out, I was also in black in Return of the Jedi. It's funny because there was a moment I wanted to see Darth Vader's entrance, even though I wasn't in the scene, and I was single at the time, and I thought, can I get picked up? And they said, well, you don't work. I said, yeah, but I want to see the scene. And I said, okay. I said, what am I going to do? Sit around my apartment in London? I didn't know anybody except people at the studio. And between takes, I said to George, aren't you going to put in some dialogue when he steps through the door? Like, it's the Dark Lord of the Sith, one of the most evil, blah, 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 and do some exposition. And he just very casually goes, he's dressed all in black. He'll come in, we'll play some scary music, people will get it. And I thought, wow, what economical storytelling is that? Because one of the reasons they wanted to have that crawl at the beginning, it's a period of civil war. It's all nonsense. You don't have to read that. It really has nothing to do with what you're about to see. They just wanted to give you the feeling like, you're in the middle of, you've missed some chapters. And same with Vader. I mean, he was so right because the set was generally white. He comes in that all black outfit, and it was sort of a throwback to the early cowboy movies where the bad guy always wore a black hat and the good guy always wore a white hat. In the 70s when the first film came out, it was a period of the anti-hero where it was gray and ambivalent. The embittered Vietnam War veteran. He chose to put it in a galaxy far, far away so that he could tell the story in primary colors. This guy's all in black, he's the bad guy. Luke Skywalker's all in white, that's the good guy. So I really admire how he was able to do something that, and he got turned down everywhere. I mean, he did American Graffiti at Universal. They read Star Wars and they said, we don't want to do that. He said, are you kidding me? Same thing happened to Spielberg. He did Jaws, and it was a phenomenon. He turns in Close Encounters, and the studio goes, no, we don't want that. I mean, you'd think they'd give them the benefit of the doubt, given their track records, but for them to have been so bold to make those choices, it was so anachronistic. It was like almost like a movie that should have been made in another era.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Of course.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.